When we think about the elements, most people and most traditions talk about the 5 classical elements of earth, water, fire, air, and space. But in Taoist alchemy and traditional Chinese medicine, the 5 elements take on very different forms. Instead of air and space, they have wood and metal. The 5 elements of Wu Xing describes not just the building blocks of life, but the cycle of creation and transformation. Wood feeds fire. Fire creates earth. Earth bears metal. Metal enriches water. And water nourishes wood. These cycles show us how energy is constantly moving, growing, consuming, refining, and renewing. As this system looks at the physical structures and its cyclical nature, rather than the upward movement of consciousness. And so while air and space still plays a role in the elemental system, it does not play a crucial role in the science of Wu Xing. The wood element is the energy of growth, movement, and purpose. It is the force that pushes upward, like a seed sprouting into a tree. A balanced wood energy reflects in purposeful action, flexibility, vision, strong will, and creativity. An imbalanced wood energy leads to anger, frustration, rigidity, or scattered direction. So does the wood energy that is about direction and vision. It shows us how to grow beyond limitation, to branch out with clarity, and to remain flexible while still rooted in purpose. And like how all the elements show up throughout the body, so do these. Physically, when balanced wood shows up, it is strong tendons and ligaments, flexible yet stable posture, healthy liver and gallbladder function, and good vision, with the imbalance being stiffness, tight muscles, headaches, liver stagnation, digestive irritation, eye strain, or a feeling of tense or being stuck. Emotionally, when balanced, it reflects creativity, hope, patience, and the ability to flow with change, with healthy expression of clear boundaries and decisive action. When imbalanced, frustration, irritation, suppressed anger, mood swings, or explosive outbursts can occur, as emotional energy feels bottled up or blocked. Mentally, a balanced wood energy reflects clarity, purposeful planning, and the ability to adapt, a strong willpower and vision with flexibility. But imbalanced, indecision, scattered direction, rigid thinking, or overfixation on planning without execution can occur. And when balanced spiritually, one has a sense of direction and purpose in life, the ability to grow beyond limitations, and alignment with inner vision, connection to the natural cycles of renewal and spring energy. And when in balance, that feeling of being lost, stuck, purposeless, or disconnected from one's growth and path can occur, as well as spiritual energy feeling stagnant, like a tree cut off from its roots. In TCM, this element is associated with the organs of liver and gallbladder, along with their meridians, the sense of vision and the eyes, as well as tendons and ligaments. It also is represented by the season of spring. Energetically, it also reflects as a combination of earth and water, acting as a sub-element, and can be associated with Jing and Ojas, the aspects of life force energy of the lower Dantian. Wood is also seen through the Vayu of Uddanana Vayu, the upward moving current of prana. While the sub-element does not play a role in the classical 12-sign zodiac system of astrology, it does appear in the Lunar New Year cycle. In this system, each year is not only associated with an animal, but also an element from the Wu Xing. This creates a 60-year cycle, where the animal and the elements pair together to describe the energy of the year, giving people born in the years of wood the archetypical journey of wood. We can see that mathematically and geometrically, it is associated with the number 5, the golden ratio, and the fractal patterns of branching structures such as the tree limbs, roots, and leafy vines. We can cultivate and balance this energy in many ways, such as sounds, gemstones, and holistic living, with tones of wood instruments, earth tones, and other natural sounds of forest, or gemstones like moss agate and malachite, especially placed near the liver or gallbladder or the meridians, as well as just a piece of wood or living plant matter. Holistically, we can support through diet and herbs, such as ones that support the liver and gallbladder health. So, milk thistle, peppermint, or sour foods like lemon, lime, and sauerkraut, or other leafy green vegetables. Physical movements can also help, such as yogic postures of low lunge with side bend, twisted chair pose in Warrior 2, or Qigong movements such as tree reaches outward or green dragon stretches claw. And also spending time with plants, trees, and in nature will aid in cultivating, balancing, and supporting this energy. The metal element is the energy of precision, reflection, and refinement. It is the force that condenses and sharpens, like ore forged into a blade or polished into a mirror. A balanced metal energy reflects in integrity, strong values, discipline, clear boundaries, and the ability to let go with grace. An imbalanced metal energy can show up as grief, rigidity, perfectionism, harsh judgment, or an inability to release the past. And so, metal energy is about refinement and clarity. It shows us how to cut away illusion, how to simplify, and how to release what no longer serves, while discovering the wisdom and beauty hidden in simplicity. And like all elements, metal also expresses throughout the layers of the body. Physically, when balanced, metal shows up in strong lungs and healthy large intestine function, a clear and resilient respiratory system, vibrant skin, and a steady rhythm of breath. When imbalanced, issues like shallow breathing, frequent colds, constipation, skin irritation, or overall weakness in immunity may appear. The body may feel constricted or unable to release waste and stagnation. Emotionally, when balanced, metal reflects clarity and emotional resilience. Grief is processed and transformed into wisdom, and one can feel a sense of integrity and openness, with clear but compassionate boundaries. When imbalanced, unresolved grief, sadness, or cold detachment may arise. One may cling to the past, feel judgmental, or be weighed down by perfectionism and rigidity. Mentally, balanced metal energy is expressed as discernment, discipline, and a refined clarity of thought. The mind feels precise, ordered, and capable of focusing on what matters most. And, when in balance, the mind becomes critical, over-analytical, or trapped in rigid patterns of thinking. Mental energy can feel heavy, like being stuck in judgment without the ability to let go. Spiritually, when balanced, metal opens the ability to reflect truth like a mirror. It connects us with reverence, simplicity, and the wisdom of purification, the alchemical process of distilling truth from experience. When imbalanced, the spirit may feel weighed down by grief, unable to release attachments, or disconnected from higher principles. In traditional Chinese medicine, metal corresponds with the lungs and large intestines and their meridians. It is tied to the sense of smell and breath, the skin as its tissue, and the season of autumn. Just as autumn is a time of release, metal teaches us to exhale the past and prepare for renewal. Energetically, metal is a blend of air and earth energies, acting as their sub-element, as it takes a lot of attributes associated with the air element in other traditions, and is associated as the bridge between the middle and upper dantian. Metal is also seen through the vayu of prana vayu, the inward moving current of prana. And like before, metal is not part of the classical 12-sign zodiac system, but is in the Lunar New Year cycle. Mathematically and geometrically, metal is associated with the number 7, and the icosahedron and crystalline lattices, symmetrical, reflective, and precise. Its fractal patterns can be seen in snowflakes, crystals, and mountains. We can cultivate and balance metal energy through sound, gemstones, and holistic living, with tones of chimes, bells, metal singing bones, and wind harps. Crisp, clean, and resonant-like sounds, like an echo of a clear bell in the air. Or with gemstones like clear quartz, silver, and moonstone, especially holding and placing or wearing these near the chest or lungs, or near the metal meridians. Holistically, we can support through diet and herbs, especially those that open and strengthen the lungs, like licorice root and mullein, or white foods like radish, pear, and garlic, along with foods rich in minerals. We can also use physical movement to help balance and cultivate this energy, with yogic postures such as camel pose, revolved triangle, and bridge pose, or qigong movements such as white tiger washes its lungs, or metal cuts the clouds. And finally, spending time with crisp airs, such as the air in autumn, or when you're really high up in mountains, and feeling that intensity of crisp winds due to elevation. While most traditions describe the 5 elements as earth, water, fire, air, and space, elements such as wood and metal do still work within these systems, as I have briefly mentioned, as what we can call as sub-elements. A combination or a branch of these main elements, as it is the combination of these elements that create all of the manifested things. So we can think of these sub-elements not only as combinations, but also the next level of expression of the elements, as the element's qualities crystallizes into more specific forms, acting as children of the core elements of earth, water, fire, air, and Akasha. For example, we can see that wood is a combination of earth and water, or metal as a combination of air and earth, as this is seen directly in the physical, as it is the matter of earth and water that creates plants and trees, and is the wind that cuts through earth to sharpen it or to compress it with air pressure into different forms. While these combinations can continue to go infinitely, I will share a few basic examples of sub-elements through combination, as these can easily be felt through the chi body. Earth and water has the sub-elements of wood or mud. Earth and fire have the sub-element of lava or magma. Earth and air has the sub-element of metal and crystal. Water and fire has the sub-element of steam or vapor. Water and air has the sub-element of ice or crystal. And then fire and air has the sub-element of lightning or electricity. So we can see that the wood and metal elements add another dimension to our understanding of energy and qi. With the science of traditional Chinese medicine having a deep understanding and connection to these elements, it also helps us understand and introduce the countless sub-elements and how energy infinitely fractals to all the manifested things. And so when all the earthly elements are balanced, earth, wood, water, fire, metal, and air, we start to embody the infinite love and wisdom of Akasha. If you want to learn more about the elements and how to balance them, I created a course called Mastering the Elements, designed to give you the tools and guidelines needed to master your own energy. Through yoga, qigong, holistic practices, and more. Link will be in the description. That's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, leave any comments or questions or topics that you want me to talk about. Thanks for watching. Peace.